we go. Is that even? It must be. Yeah. Yeah. Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is a Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. And we are going to be spending some wine dollars at Christmas time. I did a blind cab tasting. Now, I want to apologize that I thought I would put an edited version of that up on YouTube, and here you go, you see me messing around with the bags and doing all that stuff, and sorry about that. I'm going to try and get an edited version up there. I try to cut all that beginning stuff out. Maybe you guys thought that was kind of cool that I had all that going on. I don't know. But it's like, it surprised me to see that. We did a blind cab tasting. A lot of people enjoyed that episode. One person said they're going to serve Super Tuscan with their prime rib at Christmas. I think it's a great idea. Super Tuscan is a fantastic idea. I'll give a shout out to a few people on my next episode, new subscribers. I appreciate it very much. It means a lot to me. It really does. We are going to examine or look at Merlot today in the blind format. I think Merlot is a good call with prime rib. Merlot is different than Cab in many different ways, but mostly it is a little softer. They'll blend Merlot in Bordeaux. They blend Merlot with Cab to soften it up a little bit. It has a little bit rounder shoulders, a little more elegant. But at the same time, Merlot can be very, very structured and big. So the tannins may be just a hair softer, but I'm telling you what, it's not that big of a difference. And I love Merlot personally. I see it rebounding a little bit on the market, which is very exciting. And as I've mentioned many times, Merlot is very famous in Bordeaux, Right Bank Bordeaux, Petrus, Cheval Blanc, primarily Merlot-based wines, and they demand a lot of money. And Massetto in Italy, $700 a bottle, and many people it sells out quite frequently. So Merlot is very respected. I know a lot of you. I hope most of you that watch this program appreciate the value of Merlot, and I think it'd be a great call with prime rib, which is what I'm having, so that's what I'm discussing. I know a lot of people have ham. I actually think if you found a softer style Merlot, you could have that with ham, and it would work. Let's get started right away. All these bags are kind of wrinkly. Number one. By the way, in the comments, how do you guys feel about Merlot? Do you drink it a lot? Do you avoid it? Have you let sideways influence your opinion about Merlot? Even though it's kind of funny that he drank Merlot at the end of the episode when he had Cheval Blanc at the burger joint and enjoyed it very much. Number one. Well, really kind of a really deep purple on this one, hedging towards black. Very dark. Let's see what we get on those. Getting kind of a blackberry, dark cherry, plum notes. Give a little spice action too, which would suggest oak treatment. Licorice as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. I like the nose on this. Very expressive. Nice kind of chalky, kind of grippy tannins on the finish. Just saying, Merlot can have that. I'm getting really good dark cherry notes. Very solid front to finish. Good structure. Nice clarity. A little bit fresh on the palate. Good acidity. Nice balanced, integrated acidity. Not high in acid. I'm going New World on this baby. A little leather coming through on the back end, which is really cool. Good structure, good balance, solid Merlot. This would be great with any roast, actually. I'm having a hard time. It has some minerality too, which is really cool. Would suggest Old World, but it just has enough fruit. Let's go through these and see. Might re-guess on that one. The licorice hits on the top of the mid palate. This has a lot of Old World love to it. At first I thought New World, but the minerality, they do Merlot. Merlot is produced and very respected in Italy, France, Washington State does some fantastic Merlots, and they do good Merlot in Napa as well. But this could be Italian Merlot, or it could be Bordeaux. I say that because I think I have Merlots from all over the place, so we'll see where they fall. I like this Merlot a lot. I think it has great structure. I think it has good balance. It has ageability, for sure. Good start. A little red flower coming through on the back end. I'm going to call that old. I'm just going to put, I could be wrong, but I'm going to just put OW because I think it might be an Old World Merlot. Just saying. Move on to number 2. Number 2. Nice start. I like it right off the bat. It was a better start than the Cab, I believe, episode. Which I kind of got discouraged when I saw the unedited version up there on my YouTube channel. Nobody commented about that. Good. Maybe it's okay with you guys. I'm not going to do that very often, but maybe you're putting up with it this time. Number 2. Color on this one is about a little more on the darker side, not as purple as the last one. You can kind of see through it, but it's not quite as dark as the other one. Let's see what we get on those. Ooh, this smells dirty. I mean, this smells dirt. I get dirt on this bad boy. Dirt, licorice. Not so much fruit. I'm almost getting kind of a eucalyptus, but not quite. You know, a little bit of mint. Maybe a little bit of a pencil lead. There you go. I'm getting some cherry notes on this one as well. There's just a touch of spice on the back end. Let's see what we get on the palate. Round cherry notes, a little bit thin on this one. Minerality on the back end, which would suggest to me Old World as well. A little bit of pencil lead, which might suggest Bordeaux. Just saying, this could be a Bordeaux, a Merlot-based Bordeaux. A touch thin, but it has some nice earthy notes to it. Very savory on the palate. Fresh acidity. Nice balance, but just a touch thin. Just a little bit thin, just saying. Interesting, and I know you guys watch my program, and I know you know the answer to this, but make it in the comments. Where is Merlot most prominent? Right bank or left bank in Bordeaux? Right bank being east of the Gironde, left bank being west of the Gironde. This might be a little bit closed up. Could express itself better in the future. I think this might have some ageability. I'm going to put Old World on this. Could be wrong. You never know. Just a little bit of touch on the thin side. Maybe if you decanted it, it might open up a little bit more. But yeah. And I'm going to put Old World Bordeaux there. I think. There's this guy that does a YouTube, has a YouTube channel. He's a master of wine. Watching him do blind tasting, he has no idea what he's tasting. Really, really cool. Humbles me quite a bit. Just saying. I need more practice for sure. Let's move on to number 3. I want to thank my wife Susie for bagging these up for me. Number 3. Rinse. Yeah, I'd really like to see Merlot take off even more. We do sell a lot of Merlot in the lower end, you know, the budget category. And, you know, there's some particular producers from Washington and California that do very well. The Merlot does very well. But overall, you know, obviously Cab dominates the market in the reds. But I'm glad to see it taking off again. I like Merlot a lot. This is, you know, almost like number 2. Dark. Not quite as purplish as the other one, almost towards the red side. Let's see what we get on those. This has a little, like, I don't think it's corked. It's not corked, but it has a little, there's definitely some spice on this. I get some plum, like a red plum, dark cherries, a little bit of sawdust going on. Almost a tiny hit of petrol, a little bit of petrol going on there. Yeah, let's see what we get on the palate. Almost got a little bit of a hit of an alcohol level. I want to make a note on the back. What is the alcohol level on this one? These are all tasting Old World to me. What's wrong with me, Stan? What's wrong? A lot of grippy tannins on this one. Almost like somebody put a little sandpaper in my mouth. I get dark cherry, a little bit of plum coming through on this one. This one seems to be a touch thin as well. I mean, I'm just grippy on the finish on this one. It has good structure, obviously. A little bit of there's a little bit of vegetal on the back end. So what I'm going to do here on the number one, I think number one's New World, based on what I'm tasting now. So I'm changing my tune just a little bit. I still think number two is Old World, and I think this is Old World. This has a little vegetal component on the back side. This needs food. I think with a prime rib, this will express itself a lot better. Some wines just need food, especially Old World wines. They really do need food. That's the way they make those wines. These guys that make wine in the Old World, they really think about food and wine pairing. That's what they're all about, baby. And so when you're drinking an Old World wine, you know, they're not expecting you to have it like a cocktail wine where you're just sitting around watching TV and drinking it solo. No, they're thinking food. And so this is definitely in need of food. I still think it's a little on the thin side. Number two actually had a little bit more going on in this one. Yeah. I really do think that's a Bordeaux. I do. I'm going to go... if that's the Bordeaux, then I think number two might be, I don't know where it's from. Could be Italy. I'm just going to put Italy just in case. Because I knew there was some choices from those different countries. This was not an entirely New World lineup. And now we're going to go on to number 4. Wow. I mean, what's cool about this, to me, what's very cool about this is these are showing a lot of nice structural components. They're well-made Merlot. They may not be the best in the world, but they're pretty solid wines and definitely good with food, which is very cool because a lot of us are going to have food on Christmas Day. Just saying. Number 4. Started out with a bang and then it kind of got a little bit quiet. So let's see. This is, again, hedging toward the black side versus purple. That first one was seriously purple. Let's see what we get on those. Dude, this has like definitely baking spices on it. Definitely licorice all day. Dark cherries, a little pencil shaving going on, which is very cool. A little bit of chocolate coming through as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. Those pencil shavings come through on the palate. This is a big Merlot, but very, very structured, which I like. The chocolate tones come through barely underneath, kind of like a, not a bittersweet, more, but not like a dark chocolate, a really good dark chocolate, dark cherries, just a hint of plum coming through, a little bit of pencil shaving going on. The licorice notes hit on the mid palate. Nice kind of almost grippy tannins on the finish. This is a well-made Merlot. Seriously well-made Merlot. Definitely New World. I think number 1 and number 4 are New World. In between is Old World. I hope I'm right. You know, I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again. This would, seriously, this would stand up to a roast any day of the week. Absolutely. I would not have this with ham. No way. It's way too powerful and structured. It would bury it. It would bury the pig. Same. There's some cool things going on with this Merlot. Nice complexity. That grip on the backside. This is screaming for food, which is cool because if it's a New World and it's made for food, that's what we want. Because that's what, you know, we're going to spend a little bit more money. And I asked this question on the last episode. I didn't get very many comments. So come out of the woodwork, guys. Are you going to spend just a little bit more on Christmas dinner wines? I think people do. It seems to be a special occasion. And sometimes smaller groups. I mean, Thanksgiving is big, right? So you've got to save some money. But so you buy some lesser wines. But I think Christmas can be more intimate. Less people at your house. And maybe you spring a little bit more on wine. I know I do. Do you? That's the question. I'd like you to make a comment so I can see what's going on. I like to know what's going on. These comments help me to understand what the consumer, what the viewer wants. And that's very beneficial for me. Just saying. So, yeah. Cherry notes. It has nice fresh acidity on the back end. Very well made wine. I think this is the best of the bunch. Just saying. Okay, let's unveil. Let's see where we fall on these. I'm putting New World on that one, New World on the first one, Old World on the middle. It's good practice, you know? So, boom. Boom. So these all showed, I mean, there was no flaws. I mean, none of these were like, don't buy that one. Depending on the price, of course. I have no idea what the price is. I probably could have guessed. I might do that in the future. Licorice notes will come through on that. Nice fresh acidity. I love that wine. In last place with a C+, above average but not great. Old World, I'm saying. I put Bordeaux on this one. Oh, look at that. Look at that. 2016 Chateau Plaisance. Montagne Saint-Emilion. Bordeaux, $20. So $20 is a good price for a C+ wine. I think this is a doable wine. I think it needs to open up a little bit more. Maybe decant this one. But yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I got that. That makes me feel good. I've guessed it as a Bordeaux, and it was. It is 94% Merlot, 6% Cab Franc. Not bad. I mean, that's one of those, you know, I would call, you know, not so pricey wines that I might put away to see how it does. Just saying. In third place with a C+, B-, so just a little bit better than that. I still thought it was thin. I said Old World, maybe Italy. No, I was totally off on this one. Wow, wow. This surprises me, actually, very much so. Lake Hole number 41, 2019 Merlot, Columbia Valley. This rolls in at it's over $30, guys. I wrote it down and I forgot to put it on the back of the label. Lake Hole, great producer in Washington State. I'm really surprised. This was a little thin to me. Yeah, but I mean, it's still good wine, but it's up in the 30+ range. I think it's around $37. Yeah. That's one of our better selling Merlots. I mean, this Washington State Merlot. So that surprises me. But But that's okay. That's okay. And I got it wrong. It tasted like Old World wine. Good for you, Marty Club, to make a Old World style Merlot from Washington State. In second place with a B+, I put New World. I'm probably wrong on this one, but you know, can't be right all the time. That's for sure. It's neither lawful nor proper to know everything. Lucian said that. Oh, wow. Wow. I said New World. Okay. 2019 Cake Bread Cellars Merlot. I'll give it B+. So, solid wine. Very solid. Guess it is New World. And this rolls in at $79. So this would be a special wine. Cake Bread Cellars. Everybody knows Cake Bread Cellars. And yeah, $79. That's up in the upper tier there. But if you want to spend a little bit more money and have a little bit of fun, it was a good Merlot B+. Now, this is exciting. I guess this is New World. I gave it a straight up A. Love this wine. Thought it had a lot of good qualities, good complexity, good acidity, good balance, everything. (2018) Cottarella Sodale. Do they say Sodale or do they say Sodale? It's probably Sodale. Merlot from Lazio in Italy, of all places. Remember, I mentioned Italy does great Merlot, and this is a classic example. This rolls in at $28. $28, guys. I would seek this out. This is a really good Merlot, and I know a lot of you probably don't look for Merlot from Italy, but I would recommend that you do if you can find the right ones, because they do an excellent job with Merlot. The surprise of the day was the L'École coming in third place. I've always been a big fan of L'École. They make great wines, but you know what? For the money, I would skip that one. Absolutely. I think the Chateau Plaisance, you know, solid wine for $20, but you know, let it open a little bit. Cake Bread, $79 for a B+ wine. That would be a special occasion. Not easy to get, by the way. So, just saying. Well, we all learn something all the time, don't we? That's the beauty of the wine world. I really appreciate your time, taking a little time out of your day. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. Then you'll see when these episodes are coming out. Thanks for your support. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.